right, let's talk about the NLCS. So
Okay.
the Phillies, after today's game, the Phillies lead this series 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
And up until today, Brig, it was 100% Phillies. Like,
Steamroller.
oh, big
Like,
time. Like the 5-3 game one, like didn't even like you said, the other one seemed like 10-5. This might as well have been 15-3 instead of five to
well,
three.
and part of that is because the D-backs did not record a run until the 6th inning. They
Yeah.
got shut out until the 6th inning. It's crazy.
Yeah, and that's trouble. And the other thing that's trouble is when you're giving up a bomb to Kyle Schwarber on the very first pitch he sees, and then two batters later,
Yeah,
Brother Harper, is going yard on his birthday, hitting his birthday dinger, right?
that's
So
right.
like it was like 6 pitches, something like that, and they're down 2-0. Like,
And Zach Wheeler tossed a gem, 6 innings pitched, 3 hits is all. 2 earned runs, 8 strikeouts. So there's your 6 innings. And then he gave up a couple of those runs and they pulled him. But that's 8 strikeouts across 6 innings against a playoff opponent. That's awesome.
yeah. Yeah. Well, and was it Wheeler or was it Rangers? No, it wasn't Ranger Suarez. Was it maybe Ranger Suarez who had no hit the D backs through like 5 or 6?
Yeah. Yeah. Let me look. I think was that game 2.
I think it was game two. I think you're right. Yeah,
I
because
think it
game
was
two was
game 2.
competitive, not even a little bit. Like
No.
game two was bad news bears for the Diamondbacks. That one was a final of 10-0,
Yeah.
and 8 of those runs came in the 6th and 7th inning. They scored 4 in the 6th and 4 in the 7th. So
Yeah.
like that's the thing. It was Aaron Nola who
That's right. It was
no
Nola.
through like 5, I believe, because he threw 6. But anyway,
Yeah, I got it right here. Nola's
yeah,
line is 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 0 earned runs, 0 walks, and 7 Ks. That
yeah,
was they just got blanked. And then they Hoffman took over, pitched for an inning, 2 strikeouts, no earned runs, no walks, no hits. Then Matt Stram comes up, 1 inning pitched, no hits, no hits, no runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Dude. And then
well, and
Kirkering gave
so
up a
here's the
little
thing,
bit.
though. This is the thing that's crazy to me is that Merrill Kelly, yeah, he gave up 4 runs, but only 2 of those scored while he was in the game. He went
Yeah.
5 2/3, and through 5, he had only given up 2 runs, and it
Yeah.
was he had also through that point only given up 2 hits.
Yes.
It was a home run in the first and a home run in the third. And so I was kind of like, man, like Merrill Kelly is dealing. He made 2 mistakes, paid for him because you got one of the hottest offensive teams in history right now at the plate
Yeah,
at home,
fact.
right?
Yeah, right.
Like that's really what that comes down to is that the Phillies through game two were seeing the baseball at beach ball size proportions
That's
and
right.
could not miss it. And we saw that with hanging up 4 in 2 innings late in that game.
Yeah,
And against a Diamondbacks bullpen that has been a problem all year long.
yeah.
So
So Kyle Schwarber homered twice, Trey Turner homered once in that ball game. And then we have 3 runs. So Schwarber earned 3 of the runs, which is crazy. Turner 2 runs, Harper 1, Baum 1, Stott earned 1, Real Muto earned 1. That's a pretty good spread. It's
yeah,
not just on the backs of 1 or 2 guys in game 2, which is
right.
great.
Yeah, it was spread all around with him, and yeah, like I said, hitting is contagious, and it certainly was in game two. Game three was a little different.
Yeah, in game 2 everyone was A-OK. And now
Yes,
game I've been waiting to say that. game 3.
was a different story. Game three is a
I
different
wrote that
story
joke like
today.
at 8 a.m. Okay.
So this is the thing that's funny, Brig, is that game three today, tickets were dirt stinking cheap. I got on
Dude.
SeatGeek yesterday and
Yeah.
I found some for $8. And I was like,
Yeah. Okay.
too
You
bad.
know what's
It's
funny?
because of everybody else like me who has to work and can't
Yeah.
go.
To a 2 p.m. game. It's 2
Yeah.
p.m. local time. And I read a report that a bunch of the Phillies fans caught wind in Philly that the tickets were so cheap, they just started buying up as many seats as they could
Yeah.
to make it so nobody local could show up.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
that is some serious involvement from a fan base.
They really, yeah, that is, yeah.
That's
I
beer
read that.
league
I couldn't
level.
believe it. I was like, but it makes sense though. I mean, like, if it meant that my team was going to win because there was less of a home crowd, I would spend $10 on a ticket, right?
Dude.
Like
Yeah,
NLC in the championship series, you bet. That's a
totally.
super duh. But it didn't seem to work that well because Brandon Fott, who has struggled this year, had a couple stints down in AAA in Reno.
Yeah.
When the Mariners were in town, I watched him pitch against the Mariners, and at that point, he was like 1-6 with like a 7 ERA, and I was like, "Oh, mow him down." Not the case.
Mm.
He shut the Mariners down that day, just like he shut the Phillies down today through 5 2/3, 2 hits, 9 strikeouts.
9.
9 times, Brig.
Oh man,
They struck
9.
out through 5 2/3.
Crazy.
That is outstanding. Like just watching that game, watching him deal. He was hitting the corners, just absolutely painting them. And the thing that was funny was eventually he stopped getting them. Just all of a sudden,
Yeah,
the umpire stopped calling corners for both teams, and it was just like,
that's right. The zone moved for sure.
yeah, like you saw Real Muto at one point. He caught a ball in the corner, and he kind of went to move like he's going to stand up for strike
Yeah.
3, but it
And
wasn't called, and he looked
uh,
back.
yeah, he kind of went like, "Are you kidding me, dude?"
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I would be
I
too.
The whole crowd did. The whole crowd was like, "Oh,
Oh,
okay."
okay, yeah, yeah.
But here's
It
the
was,
thing: even though Fott struck out 9, Ranger Suarez struck out 7. He went 5 1/3, 3 hits, 1 walk, 7 Ks on the other side. That's why the game was so nuts, man, because
yeah,
there were no runs until the 7th inning. And then
hmm
they tied it up at 1 apiece in the 7th.
yeah. Let's talk about the ninth inning though, because that
Yeah.
was absolutely bonkers the way that one ended up
Great.
playing out. Because I assumed with Kimbrel going in there, like this is the thing with Kimbrel, is that I don't want to say that I assume that he's going to get the job done because you can't assume that with him anymore, right?
No, but
Like,
70 or so percent of the time.
yeah,
You
I was going to say 70 to 80. I would even say 80% of the time he's good to
Yeah.
go, right?
Yeah.
But you know that there is the chance of that 20 to 30% could be any time. And today was one of those times. So
Dude laid an egg tonight.
he absolutely did. Yeah. Lourdes Gurriel led off. I can't remember, did he walk? I think he walked.
I think it was a leadoff walk. Yeah.
And then he stole second. That shocked me in and of itself right
Dude.
there.
It
Like,
was, the Real Muto could have had him. They were like, look at the jump he got. I'm like, yeah, but that dude moves like molasses, man. It was,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
as fast as he's gone and since he was in college or whatever, little league.
So this is the crazy thing though, is that the Diamondbacks were second in the National League in stolen bases. 160, they stole 166 bases. The Reds were ahead of them with 190. I think Ellie De La Cruz stole like 150 of those. But
Yeah, right.
anyway, the Diamondbacks have not been running.
Not
And
at
then
all.
finally they get late in the game here in the opportunity and they send the slowest guy, one of the slowest guys on the team,
Yeah.
to
I
steal a
think that
base.
was
It's
an
just like,
that was a cost benefit analysis because against Craig Kimbrell you can run, but you do have to be careful with Real Muto behind the plate. So what was interesting to me is the guy at the plate had to swing. It doesn't matter where the ball is; he has to swing
maybe it was a hit
for
and
that to
run.
work.
Because
Yeah, it's the
where
only way.
I was watching from the dinner table, and so like if this is the screen, I could only see like right here. I couldn't see like the right third of the screen,
Yeah.
and so so I didn't see what happened to the plate. I just saw that he stole the base, and food fell out of my mouth. I was shocked.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm telling you, it was a swinging steal. The
It
dude,
was probably a hit and run where he swung and missed.
yeah, he swung and missed for sure, but
Yeah,
it was a necessity that he swung.
yeah,
Otherwise, Real Muto would have thrown him out, no problem.
yeah. But so then Gurriel gets up or gets to second, and
Mhm.
then um, Pavin Smith who was up. So he hits a single, runners on the corners. Smith takes second, defensive indifference, doesn't make it. No reason to try to make that throw,
No,
right? None whatsoever. And then
but
this
it
was
took away the
one that
double play.
it did take away the double play, but at that point there was nobody out, so it didn't matter. They're not going to go for the double play anyway. They're going to try to cut that run down at home. But so this is the thing that got me. The ball, the shortstop. Was Gurriel running on contact? Like, was he supposed to be running on contact? Because if he was,
Yeah. No,
Pavin Smith should have been standing on third instead. The dude standing on second base still. Like,
yeah, because Gurriel didn't do anything.
no, and he that was a recess play. That was a recess play at the plate. Did you see that?
Yeah. Yes.
He slid around
like
and
spin move, and then
yeah.
I was like, wow, that's great. I couldn't believe that he got around Real Muto the first time. That was
I
was
know.
like, whoa.
I assumed that he had got him on that first go, but then when they showed the replay, I was like, man, he missed him by like 6 inches.
Yeah, he did. It was a pretty good. I just couldn't believe it.
Slide.
It was athletic. It was an athletic move, but then it was too athletic because he has so much momentum that had he been moving slower, he might have gotten away with it.
He was moving at regular speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, somehow he got a little bit extra burst. But no, that was the thing that like blew my mind though, is that like if I'm the third base coach, I'm looking at second base and be like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You saw him go.
Yeah.
He's either out or he's safe. Either way, you need to be here. Because if he's safe, the game's over. If he's out, we need you scoring on the next play.
Third. Yeah. Yeah.
And so and then after that, I think it was Perdomo drew a walk, bases loaded, and then Ketel Marte, who had already had 2 doubles in the game, came through with a line drive to center field.
Yeah.
Game over.
He blooped it into right center. It was awesome.
And we've got ourselves a series.
We really do. So if they can show up again tomorrow, then it'll be really interesting. And I think we both predicted 6. I think we both predicted Philly 6, didn't we?
I was thinking Philly in 5, honestly.
5. Okay.
Yeah. Well, because
I think I called 6, but
and so this is the thing that's really interesting about playing in Phoenix, is that when the roof is closed, fly balls die.
They die.
Like you can see them. Like I sat out in the outfield this last year at a game, and you could see it. It looked like the ball was coming. Then it almost looks like it hits a wall, and I think it has to do with the AC.
Yeah.
Blowing down. That the ball kind of goes and then it changes trajectory and just kind of dies out there right in front of the warning track. And so you've really got to get a hold of one to get it out. Like Marte, probably if the roof was open, would have had a homer earlier in the game instead of a double. I think there were a couple that probably would have at least hit the wall and been doubles earlier instead of falling short of the track.
Yeah. There was one that hit the wall that should have been a bomb, but it hit the padding and it was just missed by the center fielder. And that one should have been gone. Yeah.
So it's interesting the difference. Like the ball was certainly flying in Philly, was not flying in Phoenix for the Phillies tonight. And I'm curious if they're going to have the roof closed tomorrow, because since it's a night game, it's not going to be 100 plus by the time the game starts, and the sun will be going down pretty soon after. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes.